East side of the Catalinas. East side of Zel Iatuhali. Mountain of the Mesquite Springs. Maybe by the Apaches. Uh-oh, primitive probe. Far off, straight in the distance there, is the Pinal Mountains, Zildole, and Zilgosoze, or Pinal Peak, is up there, where my lookout tower is. American Flag Hill, Campo Bonito Valley. We're on the ridge separating Campo Bonito from Pepper Sauce. 3C Ranch is right up here. Upper San Pedro Valley. Galleros, Winchesters, far off are the Dragoons. And then we move into the Catalinas. East side. There's Mount Bigelow. All the TV towers on top. And then we come up here is Rice Peak. And it doesn't look like it. But before we get to the base of it, we'll drop down into a pretty deep canyon called Pepper Sauce, where there's a campground. I may or may not stay there. I may get water there tomorrow, but there's no firewood around there, and I might just camp up here on the ridge where I can have a fire. Pepper Sauce Canyon. Down here is some boys' ranch thing for, you know, like a boys' town, boot camp kind of thing for the juvenile delinquents. And there's a campground down in here. Rice Peak in the background. Beautiful area. Good birding in here. But I'm not going to camp there because I know there's not going to be any firewood. There's water there, but the place will be picked full of clean of firewood, and I need some for my tea and my breakfast. So there's a little road that goes back up on this little valley before this ridge here. And if I remember right, there's some nice little campground sites in there that I can use. Plus, down in the canyon this time of the year, it'll be a little bit chillier than up here on the ridge. And I'd like to sleep out under the stars tonight and not have to get the tent out. So this is going to be the first night's camp. It's about 5:30 right now. It's not the best camp, but it'll do. It's off the road. There's a nice little flat, relatively rock-free area right there. Well, there's an ant trail there, but right up in this area. Being a short person, I don't require a whole lot of space, but I like it to be free of rocks as much as possible. I don't see any reason to set the tent up. We'll see if I freeze my butt off. Then we'll be having the tent up tomorrow night. You know, and I got the bike tucked out of the way right back underneath this juniper here. Junipers are cool. Call them God in Apache. G-A-D, not G-O-D though. Highly medicinal, both physically and spiritually. But this will be tonight. Maybe I'll record a little bit of flute playing around the fire. Cruising up, up, up. This road has a lot of up and a lot of down because it's an old hooked together bunch of mining roads and was the first route by which motorized vehicles could get to the top of Mount Lemmon. So it goes in and out of the canyons. The real climb begins up here in about another, I don't know, 10 miles or so. Then you got the real climbing up to the Mount Lemmon Ridge. You can just see a glimpse of the town of San Manuel down there in the San Pedro Valley. The mountain range across the San Pedro there is the Galleros. And the high point on it, if you can see it, is called Bassett Peak. And there's an old B-25 up there that crashed during World War II during training. and they got a plaque with all the crew members' names on it and stuff. You pretty much have to go around through the Wilcox Way and go up the High Creek Trail to get to it, but it's pretty cool. The Winchester Mountains down past that. This is Nugget Canyon, the crossing here. That bridge, that stone bridge, and a lot of the other ones that we'll cross going up this Mount Lemmon Road were constructed during the Great Depression in the 30s by the CCC. It's interesting that a lot of these rock works and everything else that you'll find all over the Catalinas and throughout the Southwest are still good, still working, after all these years. Yet nowadays, when the government builds something out here modern, you're just lucky if it lasts 10 years. Up this canyon, about 100 yards or so, is an opening to Pepper Sauce Caves, one of several caves that were tourist attractions during the late 19th century, early 20th century. This is open to the public. You can go in there on your own. It's been pretty trashed. Don't expect to find too many stalagmites and stuff. They've all been taken out. But it's still a pretty cool experience, if you just want to go on your own and check out a cave. Now, up the road here, another 2 miles or so, I'll show you the turnoff, but I won't show you where it's at, where there's another cave that's in more pristine condition because no one knows about it nowadays, called Scroll Cave. But I won't give you direct directions to it because we like to keep it kind of secret because we don't want it to get trashed like Pepper Sauce Cave here has. This little turnoff here off of 38, the Mount Lemmon Road, will take you out where you can start looking for the entrance to Scroll Cave. I got detailed instructions how to find it, and in the end they proved to be exactly correct, but it still took me 3 times coming out here before I could find the opening. It just kind of appears on you. You look around, it's like nothing but barren slope, and all of a sudden you find the opening. Very dangerous cave because it's not on any map, and I seriously doubt if any of the federal agencies or state agencies that might have anything to do with this area even know of its existence now. The spelunkers keep it pretty secret amongst themselves. So if you get back in here, and the very first thing you have to do when you enter the cave is step over a 90-foot chasm, it's pretty intimidating, especially for a short person like myself. So if you get down inside that cave and get yourself in some trouble, it might be a hell of a long time before anyone comes along and drags your carcass out. Well, there's Mount Bigelow in the background. And there's Oracle Ridge, Marble Peak. I'm going to actually have to head out this way because this road, goes in and out of the hill. So I'm going to go out about another 3 miles and back before I even start the real climbing, which is okay with me because I've got a lot of water loaded in my trailer back here. And it's making for very slow going. So I'm just creeping along in my ultra-low granny gear, which I'm happy that I installed a new derailleur. A new derailleur so that I could put it on this extra low gear, which is a 34-pounder. And boy, am I using it today. And I suspect when I get up and really start steep climbing, I'll be doing a lot of trundling, pushing the bike. So be it. It's awesome. Probably can't see it, but straight ahead of me and down there is the ruins of an old house or something made out of stone. Two harli, or spring trees. Hopefully there's some water around there. That's Marble Peak, and you can see some scars in the sign. It's had different names over the years, Continental Mine, Oracle Ridge Mine, but it looks like with the rising copper prices, it's going active again. Some of the first copper mining in this part of Arizona took place right over this ridge in the Leatherwood group a prominent pioneer back in the late 19th century. He had an orchard up here and several mine sites. The other canyon that comes off this is called Alder, and it's got quite a good placer deposit of gold, so there's gold in this area too. I've never had any luck finding it, but I've seen jars full of nuggets found by people up here by simply cracking open cracks and picking them out with an ice pick and a little broom, and they were finding nuggets just like that. But like I said, I've never had any luck up in this area. Well, now the real climbing has started. Switchbacking up, working my way up there, and I'm a trundling fool. I'm in my lowest gear, which is getting off and pushing. Not so much even to save my legs, but to save my ass. My cardiovascular is pretty good, my legs are in good shape, but my ass isn't used to sitting on a seat this long. That's the weak link in this chain, is my ass. Well, it's beautiful. Grass is looking excellent. Cows haven't had a chance to eat it down to nothing. They'll do that over the winter. But it looks nice. Can't wait till the sun gets a little lower and the light gets a little warmer and the shadows add some texture. Beautiful.